What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another tutorial video for FiveM. In this video we will be continuing our vMenu tutorial. If you haven't seen the first video on how to install vMenu and get it all set up, here's the video on it. I will be linking it down below in a description. In this video we'll be going over the permissions sections, which some people find very difficult. It really is not once you take a deeper look into it. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go into our server data folder, and we should, if you followed my video, have a permissions file right here next to our server.cfg file. So go ahead and open it up. We're just gonna go over it in depth, but it will also be kind of fast, seeming once you know one step, you will know the rest. So right off the top, we're just gonna go ahead and just, as you can see, everything that is in green is pretty much a description of what it does. So if you can read, you will know once you read this what that does. And then usually the only thing you have to edit where it says true. If you want it, you leave it to true. If you don't want it, you put it to false, just like that. And that is how you go along with all of them up here. Like right here, if you enable option below, the only players with the vMenu staff permission will be able to use vMenu. It's not recommended. You can do whatever you want. So if you would want to enable that, you go ahead and hit true. If you don't want that, you just leave it as false. Then next we have our vMenu toggle key, which opens and closes the menu, which currently is set to 244, and our toggle key for the no clipping, which is set to 289. If you would like to change them, I will have a link in the description that brings you to this page, which shows you right here what the keybinds are. So let's say you want A and left stick on the controller, you would go ahead and put 34 in there. And this will show all of the ones, all of the keybinds, and their relative ID you can use. So I will also link this in a description. So let's get back over here. So we're just gonna kind of go through and skip over the rest of these simply because they're all the same. It'll tell you right here, dynamic weather changes. Do you want it? Yes or no. If you don't want it, you change it to false. If you want it, go ahead and change it to true. Same with weather syncing throughout all the players, and so on and so forth. Once we skip over that, we're going to get to the next section, which is right here, giving yourself admin and moderator permissions whatsoever. We already covered that in the last video, but just to go over it one more time, you can add yourself as a moderator, you can add yourself as an admin, or you can make your own group. It does not matter. You would simply copy this first line or write a new line. It doesn't matter. Those are just examples, and paste that in there. So if you want to use a Steam identifier right here, you would get your hex 64 key. I have other videos that show you how to get it. Just Google it, how to get your hex ID from your Steam, and paste that in there. If you want to use Discord, change the Steam to Discord, and then put your Discord ID in there. To get your Discord ID, you simply right click on your name, hit copy ID, drag that back out, and go ahead and just paste that in there. And there you go. That's how you use Discord ID. Same thing with your license. Right here's the license example. License, which would be your FiveM/GTA license. The only way I know of how you can get this if you use a vMenu, or there's resources out there, you can print your identifiers out. But pretty much that's how you do all of this. You can use Steam, license, Discord. You simply just go ahead and add them just like that. If you want to make yourself a moderator, you would do the same thing down here. You could copy and paste, or just simply copy it. So add principal identifier dot whatever you want to use. Let's use Discord. I'm gonna use colons, the double colon, paste our thing, and then group dot moderator, just like that. Let's say we want to make a new group, and we're gonna name it I don't know, VIP, so people that donate can get this, right? So we're just gonna go ahead and go add principal identifier dot Discord, and we're gonna give ourselves group dot VIP. There you go. So now I'm group VIP, and that is how pretty much you give yourself permissions, how you use different identifiers, and how you make new groups. I usually just leave group, moderator, and admin, and then just go with that. But you can do whatever you want. And then right here is how you inherit groups. So you pretty much, you take your principal, and you want this group to inherit permissions from this group. So you don't have to sit there and rewrite everything. So anything you have here, you get. So let's say add principal, right? You want, let me know how to spell it. So add principal. We want grouped.vip to inherit everything from group.admin. So now everybody that's in group VIP would have all the permissions from group.admin. And that is pretty much how that works. Very simple, very clean. Now the rest of everything below is the actual vMenu and how to enable it, disable it, and who to give it permissions. I will only cover this very first section right here, simply because if you go through, you can simply read like right here, fast running, super jumping, never wanted. You can see if you simply read the last, like if you go to vehicle options, colors, components, freeze, invisible, torque multiplier, you can see what it all does. You simply have to read the very last 2 words and you can see what it does. But pretty much how we go about, adjusting who can have it, who can see it, do we want it, do we not want it. So pretty much the easiest way to go about adding it. So right now, everybody can see this. The way I know this is one, there's no hash in front of it. If I put a hash in front of it like this, you see how it turns green in my code because I use Visual Studio Code. That means it will now not display in vMenu because it's not reading it. If I go ahead and remove that again, now you can see it's back to normal code colors. And the reason I know everybody will be able to see this is because the second thing right here says built-in.everyone. That is the standards permission that pretty much says, hey, anybody that's playing in a server can go ahead and use vMenu. If you would like to change that to a group, let's say moderator, admin, or even the group you created, very simple. Remember here on the top with the global permissions, not even that, with the where you created your groups, how you have group admin, group moderator, or group VIP. Simply take whatever one you want to say group moderator, copy that, and wherever it says built-in.everyone, go ahead and change that to group moderator. Just like that. So all of these that people were able to see, they will not see this anymore. Only moderators and whoever inherits permissions from the moderator, which right here is group admin, will now be able to see this. Very simple. So let's say you want this to be seen by admins. Okay, group.admin instead of moderator. You can also leave it alone. That's, switch it up. Let's say you want the players menu. You want the players menu to everyone to see it. So built-in.everyone. Just like that. So now everybody can see the menu. But let's say you want everybody to see the online players, but only moderators not be able to do these functions. So here we go. We just go ahead and copy built-in.everyone so we don't have to type it again. Replace that right there and leave moderator right there. So now if you look at it, online players menu, everybody can see it. Online players, everybody can see it. Now teleporting to the waypoints and spectating, only moderators can do that now. As you can see, it's very simple. And if you go through this entire thing, it's worked the same way. So you can see everything that's green right here, it's commented out, which means it's not going to work. If I want that to be added, I simply go ahead and get rid of the hash, just like that. And now vMenu will read this and add it into your vMenu in the game. And as you can see right here, it says vMenu, it says built-in.everyone. That means everybody will be able to use that. And if you go all the way, let's just scroll to a random, let's go to a random place on the bottom. Right here. You see, it's exactly the same way. Player blips. There's no hash in front of it, which means it's enabled. If I want to disable it, I add a hash just like that. And as you can see, it says built-in.everyone, which means everybody can see it and use it. So right here is a group moderator, which means teleport to saved locations. Only moderators can do. And it says right here, only allowed for moderators by default. Another great thing is with this, anything that's already in green, go ahead and read that. Because it is a very, very nice, usually detailed text about what you're looking at. Like right here, to disable vMenu's voice chat option, simply remove this action completely and vMenu won't touch voice at all. So they're saying you can just go ahead and delete this whole thing. All I would go ahead and do, just like this, comment the entire thing out, and there you go. Voice chat options are now taken out of vMenu. vMenu is very basic, very simple, and I know there's a lot here to look at and it can be overwhelming, but as you can see, there's only a few things you need to know. Let's cover those one more time. To remove something out of vMenu, you add a hash or a pound sign, whatever you want to call it, in front of the line. It turns green in my Visual Studio. If you use Notepad, it may not. But adding that hash removes it, and now it's no longer used. We remove that. There we go. Now it's usable again. And then the second word here, built-in not everyone, this is where you change to who you want to be able to see it. Built-in not everyone means that everybody gets to see it. Let's change it to group.admin. If I know how to spell group.admin, there you go. Not only everybody in the group admin will see this. Another thing that we covered is that dang window, I tell you. All the way on the top here, assigning yourself an admin or group using different identifiers and even making a new group. It is very, very nice and very simple. I do not have the page pulled up where vMenu covers all of this as well in the documentation, but I will be sure to leave that in the description. Hopefully this cleared up some things with you guys about how to set up the permissions for vMenu. It really is not difficult. You just have to take your time, really look at it, and make sure when you do change things in here that you do not accidentally delete the wrong thing. As you can see right here, I have a typo. I forgot my P. It can be very simple things like that that will make the whole thing not work. So if something doesn't work, it really frustrates you. Just go back and look at what you edited. Most likely there's a typo in there. You got to make sure you type slow, type correct, don't have any mistakes, and just double check or even triple check your work. Once you have all that done, everything should work just fine. Another thing is, remember when you add your identifiers, if you use Steam or your Discord, you got to make sure you have Discord or Steam running for vMenu to be able to pull the permissions. I know usually everybody already has that running, but just in case somebody runs into the issue, make sure you have that program running if that's the identifier you're using. Alright, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe the video and hit that bell notification to see future content. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.